Before I get to that, just so that you understand the actual impact of Greenbelt in our city and why people are making that argument to build on it, look how much of our city it covers. Look at how much of Halton is encompassed by the Greenbelt. Look at Peel. Look at York. Way over 50%. Pretty much the only one it doesn't touch is Toronto. Except near the Scarborough Bluffs. Right? I mean, we're really just covered in Greenbelt. So that's why developers and other people lobbying for this are looking at this going, well, no wonder we have a supply crisis. But do we really? We actually don't have a supply crisis. We have a problem in getting the supply out. According to the Neptis Foundation, another think tank, the GTA and Greater Hamilton area, we have 52,600 hectares that's been set aside for development. Okay? In the past decade, we've developed 10,800 of that. In other words, we have like 40,000 hectares of land that was zoned under the growth plan that has yet to be developed on. That is ridiculous. That is an absolutely massive amount of land. It's 2/3 the size of Toronto. It's basically right here. It's like that much land that we have to develop on, that we have not done so. And we could alleviate so much of the supply crisis and affordability instantly. Right
Is
now.
that reserved
But where
within
is it,
Toronto?
Greater Hamilton area and the Greater Toronto area. Yeah, it's sitting right here.
Okay.
It's sitting right here. 800,000 detached, semi-detached were also planned for the Greater Golden Horseshoe as part of the growth plan in 2006. 540,000 are yet to be built.
Now, one of the challenges on the flip side
Mm-hmm.
is that most jobs are in Toronto Core,
Yeah.
Toronto proper, and maybe a little bit GTA. If it's unaffordable there, and we're moving further and further, that means longer commutes, more expense, and that's a challenge with a lot of people.
That's right. And we've seen that as if, I mean, like right now, if you could, does anybody live in Barrie, from Barrie? Innisfil? Anybody from
I know.
East Gwillimbury? Ask them what's happening in the markets over there. Toronto has spilt over the Greenbelt. We've spilt outwards now. So people are willing to drive through all of this to get a house here. That's what's happened to our market. And that is a telltale sign. We should be looking at that research and saying, wait a minute, it cannot be foreign buyers. It's impossible that it's foreign buyers. Why is Barrie exploding and they're not Barrie residents buying? Why are Toronto people buying in Barrie? Why are they buying in Innisfil, East Gwillimbury? The list goes on and on and on. Well, the reason for that is simply that we have not made it possible for this land to be developed. And why? Does anybody know why? I have a lot of developer friends. And myself, I'm in the process of trying to get permits for my house. I have been at the city back and forth for 1 year. I just got rejected again because my definition of a wall did not satisfy their definition of a wall. And now to get another response from them will be 3 weeks of me sitting on a vacant house. And I'm sure every time I go to pick up my mail, my neighbors peek through their windows and go, look at that foreign buyer going to his vacant house.
Will you pay a vacant housing tax on that?
Oh, yeah.
I might have to now, I'm not sure what's going to happen with that. Yes,
I'm
Alex?
just curious, so it's not like developers purposely...
That's where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
Not at all. And I can give you a long list of developer friends, major developers in this city, who will go on record and say, you kidding me? You call me, you're telling me I'm like, that's happening in a very minority of cases, but most of them will say, I'm not landlocking. And they will show you their permit processes. Rejection from the city, from the province. There's so much red tape going on to get this supply out. And now all we've done by introducing the Fair Housing Plan is added further red tape to the process. That is all we've done. We've actually made it harder for this land to get. The land is there. We don't need to touch the Greenbelt because the land is all available. What we need to do instead of a fair housing plan is a fair government plan. because the government is a big reason why this land is not getting out. But they can't look inwards right now. They are looking for an excuse. And they are looking for a quick fix to appeal to the masses because an election's coming in 2018. I got way too political.
Yeah.
We have enough to we have enough to build, and we do not need to touch the red tape. So that brings us to our discussion of the Ontario Fair Housing Plan. Has everybody had a chance to read through this?
No.
Okay. For those who have not, I have a copy here which we will pass backwards. If we run out, we will make more copies for you. This was the press conference that was held at Williams Landing in Liberty Village. And don't think for a second that Liberty Village was not a strategic pick. It is so heavily concentrated with tenants going through the very crisis of rent control issues. They intentionally held it here. And CS, I don't know if you can count the MPPs, but my fingers got sore. You're telling me this isn't for a political play. You tell me then why there are so many MPPs here to announce this thing. Happy birthday, Terry. Happy 30th, buddy. Okay. Sorry? Yeah. He's got birthday plans. Going through the Ontario Fair Housing Plan, this is pretty much how these sections break down. Because I'm not going to read the whole thing in front of you. It's for a couple reasons. Number one, it kind of upsets me. And number two, it's very wordy. But this is basically what it says. Points 10 to 16, then it's saying other actions to protect home buyers and increase information sharing. They're talking about setting up advisory committees. They're talking about consulting with real estate advisory committees. In a nutshell, they're just talking about talking. Okay, so 10 to 16, you can take a black marker and streak through absolutely everything, because I have met with the people who they are talking about meeting with, and the consensus among those people is that they sit down and then they stare at you, not absorbing a word you're saying anyway. Okay, so 10 to 16 is a complete waste of space, and I'm sorry for printing it. I shouldn't have even printed it, but for your entertainment. 4 to 9, actions to increase housing supply. I'll save you the headache. Read it if you like. There's nothing in there, not one course of action that will increase supply. Not one. May I? Number 4 starts with establish a program to leverage the value of surplus land assets across the province to develop. So develop a program. Sounds a lot like let's talk. Okay? Introduce legislation that, if passed, so it's not even legislation, it's talking about introducing more legislation. Introducing a property tax for multi-residential buildings. So they're talking about increasing taxes on multi-residential properties. I'm not sure how that addresses the supply issue in any way by increasing taxes. Introducing the targeted 125 million year 5-year program, blah, 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 blah. See, relief was on the way. I want to mention that point. If you look at this slide up here, I have to tell you how frustrated this makes me, because guess what? Relief was on the way. This represents the number of purpose-built rental units under construction in Toronto. This was under construction.